tell the difference between the ground, and if there's little cubs, then they blend in so well. I just want to quickly answer Mike, everybody. Mike, you're more than welcome to make your approach down here. So I think that's quite nice, the difference, sort of leopards being a little bit more graceful when they feed versus those messy lions. Though when it comes to the best scene and photographic opportunities, it's always nice seeing a lion feasting when they stick their heads out and their entire head is covered in blood. That's quite special. You've gone very quiet now. Obviously found another nice little bit of flesh and wedged himself in quite well. Do you think you could eat like that, hanging from a tree, with your feet standing on either side of a branch, wedging themselves in? I don't think I could. I think it's quite phenomenal how they're able to do all of this. Right. We're going to have to unfortunately leave these lovely leopards, and while I try and navigate out of this thick drainage area, let's see how Brent is doing and if he's still on Cheetah Plains.
So apart from a slight squiz at Mr. Q, the Cheetah Plains was quite barren, so we've started making our way back towards Djuma, and hopefully those lions might still be around Buffelshoek Waterhole, so we'll go have a look there. But remember, this is a live African safari. You've been seeing those leopards live with Taylor, and remember, questions at WildEarthTV or hashtag Safari Live on Twitter if you've got any questions or wonderings or musings about the magical African wildlife. Okay. Candice, I'd like to join you there. Copy, no problem. I'm still about 7 or 8 minutes away. Okay, so it sounds like those lions are still at Buffelshoek Dam, so we're going to start toddling along in that direction. Oh, that is quite pretty. What do you think, Chandra? Is it worth it? I think so. So you can see this really strange light. It's almost quite eerie. And there you go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Minus the electricity poles, yes. Yes, that's why we have to zoom in above the poles. Right, we're going to keep toddling on. Now, of course, I know a lot of you will be ecstatic to know that Commander Bond will be back tomorrow. Yes, I think it's tomorrow. Wait, what day are we? Are we Thursday or Wednesday? See, the one thing about living out in the bush, we do lose track of days, dates, and things like that. Okay, so it's Wednesday, I hear. So, no, Bond will be back on Friday. But probably only on drive on Saturday. Aha! Now Jason's asked a very interesting question, and have I ever heard of a king cheetah, and are there any on Cheetah Plains? Okay, now strangely enough, haha, of course I've heard of a king cheetah. Now, oh, there's a car coming. Let me just get off the road. We don't cause traffic jams. There we go. Okay. So a king cheetah is a form of menalism. So it's a basically a color variation, and unfortunately this is one of the pictures I have. Now that is of a king cheetah skin. Now you can see how the spots actually merge into stripes. Now this area was actually quite famous for king cheetah, and that's one of the last king cheetah from the wild, and it was caught in Acorn Hook. Now Acorn Hook is not far from where we're sitting right now, so there is a possibility that king cheetah genetics are still here in this area. They haven't been seen since the 70s though. Now what probably happened is that, well, because it was such an anomaly, those cheetah were actually caught and moved around, and they're at breeding centers and places like that. And it's not impossible that the genetic line still lies in this area, but it's more than likely that most of that little genetic variation have been moved out. But fingers crossed, you never know. We could always see a king cheetah. So while we are trundling back towards Djuma, there are some other updates for you. Tundi still has 2 cubs, and apparently she's taken them into Torchwood. And Shadow, of course, has been mating with Tingana, so it's most likely that, unfortunately, her cub has moved on to the next plane. There you go. Hello people, goodbye people. And what other cat reports can I give you? Oh, Impala has been popping up and around all over the place. Last I heard, she was very close to Djuma on the boundary with Sibambili at One Eye Pan. She had a kill there, but I didn't hear anything more today. That was yesterday. I think that's about all the cat updates I've got for you at the moment. It was quite funny when we saw quarantine. DeAndre says to me, "Oh, have you heard about quarantine?" And I said, "Well, no, DeAndre, I actually had no idea about quarantine." And literally as he said that, I heard on the radio that he'd killed a reedbuck. Now, we are about to go through the Mulwanini, which is another one of the little dry riverbeds. Unfortunately, there's a whole tribe of gremlins that live at the bottom of the Mulwanini, so we often lose signal as we cross through. So to avoid you having that dastardly gremlin interference, let's go see how Taylor's doing.
We made it out of that treacherous drainage line, safe and sound, no holes in the tires, not yet, which is good for us. And I think we got a fantastic sighting, and I'm hoping that all the other guests that get to come and have a look at that get to have as great of a sighting as we did. We were very spoiled. It was nice to see how Karula woke up the entire process. That's my favorite thing. That's how I like to see it happen slowly and not just get there when the action is all happening. You need time to prepare for these things. So it was perfect timing this afternoon. Who have we got? Let's see who we've got flying in the distance. I can't really see. It looks very big. I wonder if it's not a martial eagle. It's far away, and I did just see a lot of white. Yes. It looks as though it could be a martial eagle, everybody, flying around like that. I just need to chat to Mike very quickly. Go, Mike. Off it goes. Big negative. If you carry on shortcut Gallagher, you take the second shortcut that goes towards the cut line. You go along that Ndlela, you will see that there is a very prominent 2-track running south. And then you drive on that for quite some time, but you'll eventually get to the big dip again. Just guiding Mike into the sighting. That was quite nice, a martial eagle soaring in the distance. Well, Jenna's asking something quite hysterical. So Jenna wanted to know how on earth am I finding my way around the reserve. Well, Jenna, with a great difficulty. You get to learn the roads quite easily once you've worked on more than one reserve before, which obviously makes it a little bit easier. I find that the first reserve you work on, those roads are the hardest roads to learn, just because you're very unsure of how to navigate through the bush. You don't realize how important landmarks are, so trees, big termite mounds, because there's no road signs out here, I'm afraid. So I was very fortunate enough to be given a map. That's typically what happens. And then you learn the map off by heart, really. The more and more you drive the roads, the better you get. And I'm getting there. I know Djuma now, alright. I'm going to show you the little magpie shrike. Struggling to hold on in the wind. But once I've mastered Cheetah plains and Arathusa, I'll get there eventually. Then I'll be very happy, and off they go. There's another one still over there. Little magpie shrike. I don't know if you can see, there's two of them that sat down there. They're very gregarious birds. You often see them in groups together, and their tails make a very good windsock, and they're able to also tell you which direction the wind is blowing in. There were a couple of buffalo weavers hanging around too. Now, I used to like buffalo weavers, and the reason why I say used to is because there's a pair that is building a nest right outside my bedroom window. And David is smiling because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's almost like a smile and a head shake at the same time. Now, this pair is building a nest in an acacia xanthophylla, so a fever tree. And every morning as that sun comes up, you hear them chatting away, and they don't stop building. So that might be actually something that we'll have to try and show you some photos of. So I'll try and get some photos of their nest and how well they're going, but I just wish they wouldn't build it outside my window, or at least be quiet if you are having a morning to sleep in. When you're driving first thing in the morning, it's not a problem. It's actually a great alarm system. So actually we beat them. We get up before the sun comes up. We beat them a little bit, but it can be a bit pesky and a bit frustrating at times. And they don't stop. They go the whole day as well. They're very, very busy, hard workers. It's very windy, everybody. Feels like I'm in a tunnel of wind at the moment. I'm trying to hold on my cap. I actually have to pull it down, so I apologize if you hear a noise, just so that it stays on my head and it doesn't hit anybody in the face. I see quite a few impala jumping around up in the distance, so we're going to make our way towards those impala and see what they are going and racing around for. Possibly the wind, maybe one just got a fright, but we'll go and investigate now. Just taking our time as we get there. We're in no rush, we're on safari. We get to just bumble around and see the most amazing things. We're almost there. I feel like I'm going to have to put a safety belt on David. Not because of my driving, but because the wind is so strong. He's holding onto the camera for dear life. Woo. Right, I can slowly start to see the impala bums. Oh yeah, there's lots of impala. A lovely breeding herd. Now what were you all running around for? Let's see who's going to stand still for the camera. Those ones are, but let's go up a little bit further, just because I see a really nice group just up ahead, and they're all bundled together, which is quite nice. I'm going to try and go as quietly as I can. Possibly the wind is going to muffle the sound of the vehicle. That they're looking at me now, so I suspected that I've been spotted. Hello everybody, and there's a nice mixture. Lots of females, lots of young males. Ooh. Oh no. Hello young boy. There's one there. So everybody, we're on a bit of an incline. There's the young male that I was talking about. It's a really big herd. They're on either side of the road. Ooh, let's see if we can get them, everybody dashing across the road. Because normally, here we go, they're going to start, watch. Try and get a screenshot of them leaping across. Normally that one goes, they all go, there they go. Whee! Come on, do a big jump for us. Oh, These are the long distance jumping champions. I know I've said this before, but now we can actually see they can leap a length of 10 meters. Here comes a big male and a female. Who's going to get it? Whee! No one's doing any big jumps. Here, there's some more come. Racing across. Oh, come on. Woo! Did you see that? That's the winner, everybody. I don't know who that was, but that was definitely the winner. What should we call her? Should we call her Cynthia the Impala wins the race today? And oh no, we've got one more contender coming. Come on, can you beat Cynthia? No, that was quite a pathetic attempt. So no, Cynthia wins the high jumping competition today. It was quite funny. I think it was just off screen. Ooh. Sorry, I don't know. Wendy's doing some interesting things and has been doing. I think there's some gremlins living in Wendy at the moment. Occasionally she just decides that she likes to stop, even though you don't have your foot on the brake or anything. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll have to get the mechanics to have a look at her. You'll be okay for today. We promise you. You've got lots of not diesel, petrol in you, so don't worry. Just patting Wendy for encouragement. Sometimes you need to talk to them quite nicely. That was a lovely show that the Impala very quickly put on for us. Are we going to carry on? Now, I don't particularly have any plans for us this afternoon. I thought we would just do a little bit of a bumble after we had such a special show with Karula. She was my only plan this afternoon. Now we're just going to see what else we can bump into. So maybe we will check Bubbles Hook Dam and we'll have a quick little look around there. Perhaps go down Hyena Road. Ah, okay, no, we're not going to go there. I think Brent is going there. We'll go somewhere else. Let's go down. Oh, we've got some more Impala. Another big herd. There's lots of them again. See, they're all a little bit stirred, these Impala. It's like I said, it's the wind. It's affecting their behavior quite a bit. And this is also quite nice. You can see all that lovely green grass that's come through. It's growing quite quickly. But unfortunately, I think it's reached its maximum length. And Donna, welcome back. I know, Donna, you've said you haven't been able to watch the show for some time. And you've noticed all this lovely green grass. Now, Donna, we had some rain while you were away. About a week and a bit ago, we had about 36 mils of rain that came showering down on us. It was fantastic. I was very frightened, though, because of the big thunderstorm. It was pretty, it was beautiful, but it did scare me. I couldn't sleep that night. And that is why you see all this lovely green grass. And you can see that the Impala are a lot happier. Some of them were starting to look a little bit thin, but now they've all sort of fattened up quite nicely. And it's perfect timing as well. But we've managed to have that little downpour, just so that all these female Impala that are pregnant, you can see a lot of them are quite round, but they do get a little bit of food, a little bit of nutrients for their unborn babies. They're very, very unsettled. They keep moving away, looking towards us. Some of them dart off. The lovely big male. He's looking at us now. Yes, don't worry, we're not interested in your ladies. We're just watching you. Look at it, look, oh, I don't know if we're going to get them. Straight in front. Oh, I'm wondering if some more are going to come through, everybody. Sorry, I think I gave David a bit of a fright. But a group of Impala very quickly dashed across the road, and I thought that because it was a group, that possibly some more were going to come running out like what we just saw. So I thought we'd better have a look just in case we see any more jumping, and perhaps somebody jumps higher than Cynthia. Ooh, come on, Wendy, you can do it. Well, as we continue down the Bubbles Hook cut line, maybe I'm going to bump into Brent. Let's see if he's managed to find his way out of that particular tricky spot. Ah, okay. Everybody have a look at this. Can you see all the lion tracks? Look at all these wonderful lion tracks that we found, everyone. It's hard, it's a little bit difficult to see, but that's a big male footprint that you can see there. There's lots and lots of them there. So perhaps they were walking along here at some point today. Some of them look like they're from maybe after game drive this morning. They look to be on top of some of the tire tracks, which is quite nice. And I know now that Brent is possibly going to be following up on those lines, so we're not going to head to them. Right, finally, as we speak of male lions, Brent has got one for you.
And they haven't moved much from where we first found them this morning. I think they've moved out of the thicket as it's got a bit cooler, and they're lying out on the wind. And it is quite windy where we're here. Oh, listen. Females contact calling. And if you hear any kids, not to worry, it's just Mike and Candace from Djuma. Oh! Sorry, he got a fright from something that flew into his hole in the face, and he literally leapt up. Shame, big boy. He's battling with those flies. Back to sleep. So, as I said, Mike and Candace and their kids are out on drive. So, what an awesome way to grow up. So, just like I did from a very young age, sitting on the back of a game drive vehicle. Here we go. Look at that. Now, the temperature's dropped quite a bit in the last little while. And now as the light gets lower, you can really see that lighter colour under a lion's eyes. And it helps them collect all the ambient light at night for hunting. All depends on wind direction and cloud, and whether it's day or night, but from a human point of view, you can possibly just hear lions at about 10 kilometers if you've got shade. If you've got shade. Poor dude. If you've got good hearing. But from a lion's point of view, you can probably hear them from about 20 k's. He can't wait for that to heal. Is that some booty leaf on his leg there? Or was that another hole? It's another hole. Why don't you just full of holes, mister? So I'm going to try to get a little bit closer to it and get parallel to him. Oh, look at that. I love that when you get that, the wind-swept mane. Isn't that gorgeous? Don't rub your hole on me. Massive gape. Oh, what is she seeing? She's definitely noticed something. No. Not that interesting. Okay, let's move back a little bit to be parallel with him. Hey, big boy. How's that for you, Jean-Andre? So Judy in California says, is it just me or is the swelling getting worse? Now, Judy, I think it's actually gone down a bit. So 2-3 days ago, he was battling to open his eye. But now he can open the eye quite fully, so his swelling has gone down a little bit. Shame, Mr. Fat Cheek. There are still maggots in there. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to try. There are still a few maggots in there. And see, there's a fly. Oh no, there's maggots inside still. Now guys, I know for sensitive viewers this can be a little bit graphic, but it is what happens out here in the bush. So there are still maggots inside that wound and are feeding off the flesh. Now in some cases, there we go, you can see one there, they can be sometimes a little bit helpful. So if there is any rotten flesh, they can feed off it, but other fly species will eat off living flesh, and that for me definitely doesn't look like rotten flesh that they're eating. Shame, big boy, being a male lion. It is tough at the top. See, some blood dripping out of the wound. Now the great mystery is to which fly species that is. We're pretty certain it's possibly one of the blowflies. It looks like she's seen something or possibly even heard something. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go forward. I'm going to just pop ourselves up on top of the wall. And maybe see what she's saying, or she might have heard something in the distance. Oh, she's going back to sleep. I'm just going to give Aubrey a bit of space to come in and have a look as well. Well, Jeffrey, I'm trying to think of what to say to this. So, Jeffrey in Texas says, please can we name this Birmingham boy Fort after the largest crater, asteroid impact crater in the world, which is in South Africa, due to the large crater in his face. Well, Jeffrey, I don't know. I can't see why not. What do you think, Chandra? Chandra is non-committal. Well, let's put it to a vote. Who thinks we should call him Fort with the large crater in his face? Look at the lights now.
And also, because I want to talk about these.
Sleepy kitty. I'm actually going to get my camera out in case she opens her eyes. I think that'll make quite a nice photograph. So I hope you guys get some screenshots of that beautiful young Nkuhuma lady. I just got to wait for her to open her eyes more. Remember to share your screenshots on our Facebook page or on Twitter with the hashtag SafariLive. I think the rest of the pride is further to the west of us from the tracks that I saw this morning. And we're in the myriad of drainage lines and thickets near Gari Cutline. Hopefully they'll come out overnight and we'll be able to find them in the morning. And we're just waiting for her to open her eyes ever so well. Okay, so we're going to sit here. Hopefully these lions get moving or get busy, one of the two. But while we do that, let's go back to Taylor, who's got an exquisite African sunset to show you.
That is the sun that you are looking at, and isn't it beautiful? It disappeared behind some clouds, but it has now found a little gap for us to have a look. And it's going to disappear again behind another set of clouds, and then I don't think we will see any more of it, I'm afraid. But I'm very, very happy to see all the build-up of clouds at the moment. There's some really nice ones, but I want to take you away from the clouds where the sun is, and I want to draw your attention a little bit further south. So, should we go a little bit further to the right, where that dead tree is? That big tree? Oh, a little bit further to the left, sorry. Oh, my bad, everybody. I don't know my left and rights today. Now, I don't know if you can see those clouds forming on the top of the tree there. Now, they're slowly, very, very slowly turning into cumulonimbus clouds, especially on the right-hand side there. And those are the clouds that we want to see. They're going to start to form and spread vertically, and then hopefully horizontally as well. And maybe we'll start to see some lightning. You can actually see some more little ones forming. There's two over there. They're very small now, but hopefully they're going to merge with one another. And we see those big sort of anvil shapes, the cumulonimbus clouds start to form. And now we need the entire sky to fill up with all those clouds and get a big thunderstorm. The temperature's dropped a whole lot now. It is very chilly. David was laughing at me because I said that I'm not going to need a jacket today. And rookie error it was. It is getting a little bit chilly. How beautiful is that? That is so special. So that this wind, perhaps it is going to blow more of the clouds in and keep bringing that cold weather. And then we're going to get some more rain. But at the moment there's too much blue sky. I don't think we're going to get rain this evening. I think that we're going to get lots and lots of rain. I'm just about lying down. Lots of rain. Maybe tomorrow. Well, I'm hoping. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, do the rain dances, do whatever you need to do. But please, help us try and get some rain for the next few days. And if we do, these little gaps that you're seeing of all the grass, you can see there's obviously a lovely layer of green. But there's quite a few patches. And if we do get some more rain, that rain will allow those roots to be able to spread a little bit further and sprout some growth on top of the surface. And then we'll have a lovely carpet of green. There'll be no white at all. And then possibly the grass will grow to about that long. At the moment, it's sort of only growing probably about the length of my hand. And that's it. Sorry, my hands are now very dirty, everybody, for patting Wendy and try and encourage her to not break down on us this afternoon. So we still haven't decided on what we're doing. Oh no, come on Wendy. That was close. Just wondering if she's going to hold up on us and perhaps going to have to keep her running. It's okay, you'll be fine. She's older. Don't let her hear you say that. Otherwise we'll be in a bit of trouble. And we're going to go and check a few watering holes just to have a look and see if anything's decided to come down and perhaps quench their thirst after this hot day that we've had. It should be nice. But it's a bit windy, like I said, so I'm not sure if everybody's also hiding. So a bit of a catch-22, but we shall try. And while I make my way towards a treehouse dam and a few others, let's see if those Nkuhumas have decided to start moving yet.
Not much happening. She's just given a few contact calls and changed her position quickly. That's also quite a nice screenshot there. Pretending to be a termite mound. Now she was contact calling in the direction she's facing, and that is to the west, where I think possibly the rest of the pride might be in one of these impenetrable thickets. Oh. Now, I think she's probably going to try and give this guy the slip at some point. And I definitely think their honeymoon is over, so to speak. Although he looks to still be feeling a little amorous. She'll just stop flirting with him and start becoming quite aggressive towards him if he does try to be amorous. But male lions need a few good smacks before they really catch the hint. So he'll say when, Jean-Andre. Here we go. Isn't that spectacular? Come on, open your eyes. It's photo time. Do you want the light? Yes? Yeah. Cool. I always love watching a lion's eyes when they're sort of half dozing, half awake, and they sort of slowly close. You'll see they open again a little bit. There we go. Oh. It's getting heavy. Heavy. Oh no, waking up a little bit again. Now, one of the reasons they've probably moved up and out into the open on the dam wall with the strong wind is because of the flies. So this wind will keep some of the flies at bay, of course not all of them, as you can see there. spots on her nose. Now, in some cases, as she gets older, that nose will darken. But I have seen in other cases that lions' noses don't darken as they get older, and they stay pink. It's quite magic sitting this close to Africa's biggest cat. We're about 7 or 8 feet. Oh, bite that fly. You get him. See, she might try contact call again. Wind is actually getting stronger. No one's answering me. Why? Where are you? Oh, shame. I don't think there's going to be too much movement from these big cats. Oh, there's a long-tailed shrike in the background. And that Ziziphus, there's a couple of them actually. And you can see how strong the wind is just from how that shrike is battling to balance. And then in the big torchwood above and beyond, some noisy buffalo weavers working on their communal nests. Those nests are impenetrable. Look at there we go. There's one threading in a nice thorny branch. Getting ready to keep the ladies happy come laying time. There you go. See, that's quite early in construction. It's getting the frame right. Now, of course, the best real estate is in the center of those nests. The guy building on the left, you know, that's new suburb, undeveloped yet. He's in the what's it, the speculative market, and he's hoping that by building there on the edge, it's going to become the middle one day, and someone else will build next to him, and he'll be in a better prime spot to attract the females. Oh, the wind is getting stronger and stronger. So it is getting cooler, and I've got a hunch that we might find the rest of the Nkuhumas around Gari Cutline. So I think we're going to leave these two for now and make our way to see if we can find the rest of the pride. It really doesn't look like they're going to move anytime soon. Bye, YouTube. while we go in search of the rest of the Nkuhumas, let's go see how Taylor's faring.
It's very, very windy. It's getting very cold now. I'm about to go and make myself a jersey out of leaves or something like that. It's getting so cold. But I see that David is braving it out with me.
No, I don't have my jacket.
Oh, David doesn't have his jacket either. So we're both going to freeze to death, everyone. So hopefully it doesn't get too much colder than what it already is. It'd actually be quite interesting. Maybe Louise, could you find out what the temperature is now? So I believe it was about 83 degrees Fahrenheit when we started this afternoon, and I suspect it's probably dropped to about, let's hear. It cannot. I do not believe that for 1 second. So Louise let me know now, just in my little earpiece over here, that it is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I cannot believe that. It cannot be 27 degrees Celsius. It is a lot more cold than that. Louise, your thermometer is broken. You need to get another one. Because we're sitting here, I'm about to start rubbing my arms vigorously to try and keep warm. Now everything else has also run away from us. Even the Impala have all fluffed up a bit and moved on into the thicker vegetation. But maybe it's a bit chilly because we're actually on the move. And we've got a lot of wind blowing towards us, so there's quite a chill factor that comes with the wind as well. So that's probably it. While everybody sits inside with their lovely warm jerseys. I wonder if Brent was clever enough to bring a jacket out this afternoon. But David, we've learnt our lesson, haven't we?
So.
We've learnt our lesson. We'll never leave a jacket behind, no matter how hot it is. So we're still slowly making our way towards the dam. I got distracted. I was talking and looking for animals and things, and then I forgot to take the right turn. So we're going the scenic way around at the moment, but we'll get there eventually. And I was hoping the weather was going to stay nice and warm, because then we would have been able to have looked for some frogs. But I don't think there's any chance of frogs with this chilly weather. All the insects, I think the beetles, the scorpions, they're all going to hide away, stay in their leaf litter under the bark. I don't think there's any need for them to come out tonight. But we're getting there slowly. The only thing that is around at the moment is, sorry. We've got another update from Louise. So Louise says it's actually 77 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's a little bit colder, but it still feels much colder than that. But when you stop, it's not so bad. But then I have to put my foot on the accelerator, and then we get that wind again. So I'm taking wrong turns. I obviously don't know this part of Djuma very well just yet. So Jenna, remember you were asking me earlier about how I get away around? Dave helps me, and whoever else is working the camera. And then occasionally I have to bring out my phone as well and put the GPS on, and then use the Google Maps and whatever it may be, and try and find my way around there. Right. Well, I fix this little roadblock. I think I heard correctly, but I think you're heading over to Brent now.
Yeah, it's some magnificent Kudu bulls, and that one on the left with that magnificent spread. Literally just placed his horn. So there's some females around, and I wonder if one of them isn't coming into estrus, and he's putting mud on his horns to make himself more impressive to the ladies and more intimidating to the other bulls. Now, we've been noticing some interesting behavior from the Kudu bulls. Okay. There we go, look at that. Now I've seen them about 3 or 4 times in the last week using their horns to break branches down to an easier height to eat. It looked like you might do that there for a second. Oh, and gave him a fright. what that was. Just suddenly scampered off. There's still some females at the back. Maybe it's just this really bustly, windy. Listen for a second, although it's difficult in the wind. No. Where did I put my shkobo? Ah, there is my shkobo. All this wind sending my mane flying about. Left one on one such Ngala line up still on Buffalo's Hook Dam Wall. So last tracks I had of the Pride were going in here, and I'm hoping that while it's cooler they might pop out on the other side. Now whether they go to that buffalo that was killed by amber eyes and a single male lion on Buffalo's Hook, or whether they've got another kill already, or if not, tonight's going to be prime hunting weather for them. Windy, cloudy, there's quite a few vultures about. We'll get a good view of them from the other side. Oh, excuse me, the hiccups, where do those come from? Let's just let young, there we go, there goes one of those vultures I was just mentioning. Might be worth, it's a bit late now, but it might be worth taking a walk in here tomorrow morning. Hello? Hello, Michael? Yeah. Very well, and yourself? Very well. Did you go check on that carcass in Buffalo's Hook?
No, not today.
Not today, okay. No problem. Yeah. Enjoy, guys. Okay, let's move on. See what else we can find. Oh, James Richard he's quite excited about the thought of all the butterflies we're going to see soon. Jandre, of course, is not. Static butterflies, he says, only static butterflies. And James Richard is wondering what, as I said, is the top of the butterfly species I'd like to get on camera this year. Well, any new one. So I think we are sitting on about 20 odd species so far that we've managed to get on camera. And of course my favorite family on butterflies is the acrias. I think we've got about 4 different acrias on camera. We've got the African monarch, we've got diadems so far. We've got 2 species of blues yet unidentified to the individual species. We've got guinea fowl, we've got yellow pansy, blue pansy, ox-eyed pansy. So we're on 13 so far. What else am I forgetting on the butterfly front? Ah, the joker, 14. I know I'm missing a few. Oh, brown-veined white, broad-banded grass yellow, African vagrant. So we're around 20 that we've got on camera. So any to add to that list, and of course, just in case everyone forgot over the dry season, to reacquaint ourselves with the butterflies that we've already got as well. I'm just excited for butterflies in general. Now, as I said, I think the lions are in this area, and I'm just all the rest of the Nkuhumas with the cubs. I'm hoping that as it gets cooler, they might pop out. Now, I'm going to just ask if anyone's checked on that buffalo carcass that is in Buffalo's Hook. Stations, did anyone check on that Nyari carcass in Buffalo's Hook today? wet for our Ankpa. Copy, were there any Angara on that carcass? Standing by. Copy, thanks very much. The last two corners I had of the whole pride were going from Hyena Road into those shkovas between Gari Katlan. I'm checking Gari Katlan down towards Central now. Okay, so apparently only vultures, so they abandoned almost a full buffalo. I wonder where they are. Or have they got another buffalo in the block? They are the incredible Nkuhumas after all. I wonder if this wind is going to bring rain. I don't know. I don't know just yet. What do you think, Chandra? Well, we ponder the upcoming weather. And let's go see what Taylor's been pondering.
So we went to the wonderful treehouse dam, and unfortunately there was nothing there. Just a little bit of water, but we've got some more puddles, as you can see. Little puddles here, but it doesn't seem like there are any frogs or any life in here. Just a couple of leaves. And while we were sitting at Treehouse Dam, we did hear some elephants screeching. Now that's what we're looking for. I thought that if we could possibly find them, maybe we could put the infrared on and have a look at them like that. But we haven't found them yet. So I'm waiting till I hear a little scream of obviously a young elephant that wants to suckle. That's what it sounded like, and Mom was refusing. But nothing just yet, so we're looking. But it's also getting to that awkward time of the day where the sun is not out anymore and there's just a little bit of light left. And it's playing lots of tricks on my eyes because I've spotted all sorts of goodies that have turned out to be logs or trees or shrubs. So I hope we don't do any more of that. Doesn't seem to be anything happening here. Isn't this, David, where we had all that action?
Yes.
Oh, this is where Chile Pan.
Correct.
Ah, so now I know where we're going. Let's go down this way. I don't know, for a little giggle, let's go around here. I'm going to lose my hat at some point. It keeps wanting to blow straight off of the top of my head. Now I can just see lots and lots and lots of elephant footprints going that way in all the directions. So hopefully we're going to come across one. This is sort of where it sounded like they were shouting from. But nothing just yet. And the clouds have definitely come over this evening. We actually have a look. There's not very much sky around anymore. It's very dark and gloomy this evening. You see all that grey sky coming in, which is fantastic for us. We just need to build up a layer, and then we can work on the cumulonimbus clouds to come through. Now I don't know where I'm going. I'm just driving now, hoping to find us something to look at. Also listening out for any of the scops owls, or perhaps the last calls of the pearl-breasted. Maybe we get to see one of those. Though with the wind, I think the birds could be struggling to hold on to their perch. Like we saw those magpie shrikes earlier, how their tails were sort of moving around quite a bit. Here we go, we're going in and down towards the Muwati. Or somebody was shouting. Who's shouting here? Drongo. Drongo, what are you shouting at? Oh, we've got some Inyala though. You're not shouting. I don't think they're shouting at the Inyala. Let's come around here. Let's go stealth mode. There are the Inyala. Sorry everybody, I parked on a bit of the slope, but it was the only way that we could see them, because there's lots of trees. But they're moving out from the Muati and they're coming up and feeding along this little drainage thicket. Very hard to see that those are actually Impala with the fading light. It's a bit too light still to put the infrared on. Let me go forward. Maybe we can get a shot of this drongo that is making lots of noise. No, don't fly. Just flew straight past us, unfortunately, and off he goes. He's shouting. He's unhappy about something. Come on, Wendy. Still going on. Perhaps he's just declaring his territory to everyone else. Oh, look what the elephants left us. Let me quickly pick up this route, everybody. I don't have to go too far. Yeah. I can even still stay connected, so I don't have to hold my breath, but I have to stay close. Oh, it's a bit longer than I thought. Now, this is actually some evidence that the elephants were here, as you can see. And now if you look over here, the root where they've actually been chewing on it, still wet. So it's most likely not too old. They're perhaps munching on here just maybe an hour ago or so. But they pulled it right out of the ground, and unfortunately this is not going to live. Though I suppose if I planted it into the ground, it should be alright. You can see they munched on quite a few of the roots, and they didn't eat any of the leaves. Obviously wasn't too tasty. Off you go, tree. Now I need to climb it. Now my hands are really dirty. Very dirty. And I also just wanted to move that off the road so it doesn't become an obstruction. That drongo is very unhappy. I don't know why it is so unhappy this evening. Oh, I'm coming apart, everybody. Please bear with me. My mic pack just fell out of my pocket. Okay, I'm in and I'm ready to go. Wendy, no, Wendy's not. Come on, Wendy. You can do it. I have to rev her like a race car every now and then, but she'll be alright. She'll make it. Right, is it time for lights? It could possibly be time for lights. Woo! Now, as we trundle along here, it would be nice to hear some of your questions. We just want to have a little chat. You're welcome to either hashtag Safari Live with anything that you'd like to know, or you can also ask us on an email. You're still emailing, which is questions@wildearth.tv. And I know Ashley Stevens, thank you for your question. You'd like to know, with the wild dogs this morning that killed that Nyala lamb, will that female come into estrus again quite early? Now, I reckon so, Ashley. I think she will. Possibly because I believe it was quite a young Nyala. And I have seen Nyala giving birth all year round. I've seen lambs at the most bizarre times of the year. So I reckon that she will. She will make gentlemen very happy, coming in at a strange time. So possibly she was very unfortunate for that female, but she also won't risk her life completely, knowing that she can have another fawn again. So, well, it's sad, it's life, but you're lucky you got to see wild dogs make a kill. That's quite special. I've only seen a handful of those in my life. Right, I think it's time for the spotlight now. It's almost there. It's very awkward. Oh, the spotlight is working. But while I carry on looking for chameleons and owls and all sorts of other things, let's go to Brent for an update.
Well, it seems like they have a very similar plan. Owls, chameleons and bush babies. And I've got one extra on my list. Frogs. But again, it seems when you go looking for frogs, it's windy, which is not great frogging weather. Now, I wonder who's going to be the first to spot the first chameleon after the rains, I was searching with very much intent. Oh, you see that through the light, through the bush there, Jean-Ray? You know what that is? It's a tailor. Yes, you can see. We can see our vehicles by the lights that are on them. There goes Taylor. Now, who is going to be the first to find a bush baby? I mean, a chameleon. Bush babies, I'm sure we'll find. Maybe they might stay inside for a little bit longer in this windy weather, but I'm sure hunger will drive them out. Remember, we're alive in the middle of the African bush, and you can get hold of us and ask us questions using the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter, or use the email address questions at WildEarthTV. Hi, Bill. Now, Bill has caught me without my insect book, but I will try explain it to the best of my ability. Now, Bill is wondering what is the difference between a moth and a butterfly. Now, this is not always steadfast, but as a general rule, moths are nocturnal and butterflies are diurnal. So moths are out at night and butterflies during the day. However, of course, there are exceptions. There are daylight moths and there are nocturnal butterflies. So, moving along. The main difference from a physiological point of view is their antennae. Now, if you look at their antennae, ooh, is that an owl? Very slowly. Thought I saw an owl flash past us. Bill, I haven't forgotten. Don't worry. I'll explain now. I just want to see if we can... There he is. At the back. Now, who is it? I can see the false eyes staring at us. No. There he is. It's not what I thought it was. Oh, there's real eyes. There's a little African barred owlet by the looks of things. I just want to have a closer look, so I'm just trying to get this. Oh, yes. Hello, little guy. So he's out hunting already. Well, off he goes. Maybe he saw something to pounce on. Oh, isn't that wonderful, little barred owlet? Oh yeah, so well, carrying on about moths and butterflies for Bill. So if you look at the antennae, even some of the moths have a very fine, but it's feathered. So there's little other bits coming off the antennae, where there is a butterfly. It does not. It's a single with a bulb on the end. Now also, butterflies almost exclusively feed on nectar. Now they are attracted to strange things like buffalo urine and stuff from time to time to get moisture from. Moths mostly are nectar feeders, but you do have, bushbuck. Ooh, nice big male bushbuck. Unfortunately it is, we don't shine our spotlights on the diurnal animals. So the reason for that is the spotlight can affect their eyes very briefly, but it might put them at a slight disadvantage for a short time. And of course, we're not here to interfere, we are here to observe. Now the nocturnal animals, their eyes are designed differently and they are able to withstand the spotlight without it affecting their eyesight at all. Now this is always a good little chameleon spot as we come out of the Milwaukee. Check the quarries carefully. No such luck there. Now, of course, there's apparently a missing male lion somewhere in this area. That's why I'm driving down here again as well. Oh, hello, Fran in England. Fran is building her Safari Live bird list and the barred Owlet number 68. Well done, Fran. And guess what, Fran? I've started hearing a few of our migratory birds on their way back. I haven't managed to find one to put on camera yet. Oh, of course, apart from the Warburg's eagle. But today and yesterday, this morning I heard Klaas's cuckoo. And very exciting, before sunrise this morning, I heard the African cuckoo, the first one, which is quite early for it to be back. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Is it another one of those duiker-like other animals? Or is it actually another animal? Can you give me a bit of a zoom in there, please, Chandra? Can you see? That eye there. Oh, that's a duiker. That's a duiker. Yeah. They're very good at being other animals. You always think they might be something else. They've got very wide set eyes for a little critter. I was hoping it might be a civet. Where is this missing male lion? He just vanished. I think he actually got chased by elephants, so he should be around. So he might pop up on the Djuma Dam cam, so keep an eye out. Hello, Zaki in Kenya. Nice to have you back with us, Zaki. Now, Zaki says, what is the best time for safari? Do we see more animals in the morning or in the evening? Well, Zaki, I would say probably about the same. So, it's the reason we go on safari in the early morning and in the late afternoon. It's because it's the two best times to see wonderful wildlife. So, during the heat of the day, most of your cat or predator species are going to be snoozing and sleeping. You can still have fantastic elephants and other general game, but what a lot of people really love to look at is the cats, and that is the two best time of the day to view cats when they're most active. So I would say they're both great times to go on the safari. Now, oh, I thought that was a chameleon. Who is it going to be? Will it be Taylor? Or Jamie? Or Commander Bond? Now, David Ryan, hello David, is wondering, if you were to use a spotlight on a day animal, why do their eyes glow? Surely there shouldn't be. So, you must realize their eyes are not like ours. So, they still glow, they've still got the tapetum lucida. I always get that one a bit muddled up. So, that reflective layer there. So, you must remember, a lot of animals' eyesight isn't designed like ours. And even the daytime animals have better night vision than us. They have to protect themselves from the prowling predators of the night. So that is why they also will have better night vision, but not nearly to the degree of a lion or a leopard, for example. Come on, chameleons! So, speaking of chameleons, I've got a question for you. How many chameleon species do we get on Djuma? If you know the answer, let me know. Questions at WildEarthTV or hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. How many chameleon species occur in the Sabi Sands? Now, this is always a good little road for nocturnal creatures, and we're going to search carefully through here. And while we do that, let's go see if Taylor's had any luck with the nocturnal critters.
Hello again. Now this is a very, very good area for chameleons, everyone, so I'm just taking it very slow. And something that we're looking at, and I just want to remind all of you, is we're looking for a white reflection that comes off of it. Oh my goodness, what do we have over here? What on earth have we found, everybody? It's the first chameleon of the season. Brent, I've won. I beat Brent, everybody. I found the first chameleon. Now, this one looks a little bit sick, as you can see. It looks like it's got a bit of a thorn tree growing through its leg. And I'm not sure what type of species this chameleon is, unfortunately. It looks very much like a flap-neck chameleon. However, it also resembles a southern dwarf chameleon as well. Everybody, I win, I win, I win, I win. I'm so excited. So maybe we should leave that for Brent and get him to come past. What do you think? What do we think? Louise, what do we think? Should we try and tell Brent to come through here and see if he spots it and see what his reaction is? Or have you already told him? We're trying to okay, no, we won't tease Brent. I think he's jealous that he didn't think of it first. Now I need to rescue the chameleon, everyone, because I can't litter and I can't leave paper here, so I'm going to very quickly jump out. I'll just be just a moment. And I thought that was quite clever, seeing as Brent said he wanted to find the first one. Let me take my very sick chameleon off the tree. Now I can't draw very well. This was a very quick an attempt at trying to draw a chameleon.
It was great.
Thanks. David said it was great. I think that's the first chameleon I've actually ever drawn, so I felt like as though the pressure was high. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that just made you laugh a little bit. Seeing as we've been searching and searching for these chameleons over the last week, we're suspecting that they should start to come out shortly. So hopefully we will get one. How funny would it be if we actually managed to find one right now? That would be fantastic. Now everyone, I'm only teasing Brent in case you're getting a bit worried. We all have a little bit of fun and a bit of banter with each other. It's awesome. It keeps us all strong and on our toes. Now I don't know if you can see, there's lots of dust as well. So I'm going to definitely need a shower after this. Oh, what have we got up here? Who have we got? Unwanted blind. We've got some Impala. I'm going to have to dim my lights. That's right. So I'm wondering, should we go infrared? Should we do a little bit of infrared this evening? How do you feel, David? Good?
Yeah, we can.
Louise, do you feel good about doing a little bit of infrared this evening? Right. Are you ready for me? I'm switching off everything, turning off my lights. Off, the spotlight is off. Right, we're going to approach these Impala now. Hopefully they're not going to run away from us. We're just going to go quietly. Maybe they're not even there anymore. I can't see anything. It's very dark, so I'm looking at my monitor. Oh, no, I can sort of see the road still. Here they're Impala. Look at all of them. Lots of them. They actually seem a lot more relaxed with us now than they are during the day. You can see there's someone shining their spotlight in the distance. Now, that's not because of us. A tree rustled because of the wind to the right of me, and now they're all panicked. So you can see how jumpy they become. Not just because of the wind, but also because it's night time now and there's not a lot of starlight. There's actually no stars out, no moon tonight. It's very dark. So they're a little bit more panicky, and it's quite thick here, so they can't really see what's coming towards them. I think they're going to actually run off now. They're feeling a little bit nervous, but this is how they are. Perhaps they'll go to a nice open area and maybe have a little bit of a rest. But normally one or two of them will sort of stand up and keep watch, though there's no sort of set member of a herd that will stand and keep watch over them while they all rest. But remember, Impala aren't having to chase after their food, so they don't use as much energy throughout the day, so they only need to sleep for a few hours, anywhere between 3 and 4 hours every single day. They maybe take a siesta, an hour siesta during the heat of the day, and then at night they also sit down. But they don't sleep how we see the lions and the leopards sleeping. Right, I think we're going to let these Impala be, and they are looking a little bit nervous. I don't want to upset them too much, but it was a fantastic afternoon, and I hope you all got some wonderful screenshots. But I'm going to have to say goodbye. So from myself and David, have a wonderful morning, and we'll both see you bright and early on the sunrise safari. But let's go over to Brent, and I'm sure he would like to say goodbye to you as well.
I've been checking one of my favorite chameleon trees, but alas, no chameleon, and well done to James Richard, who got the answer spot on. There is only one chameleon species in the Sabi Sands, the flap-necked chameleon. We do not count paper chameleons, and yes, I think most chameleons need a heartbeat. Now, to resort to drawing a chameleon because you can't find one, that's a little sad, Taylor. But don't worry, maybe tomorrow night you will see one, or one of us will. So the race is on. It could be any of us. Who is going to see the first chameleon after the rains? Oh no, it's just a light-coloured leaf. I also checked my favourite bush baby spot. No luck there. Hi Janet. Janet's wondering how many chameleon species we get in South Africa. Not many. I think it's about 5. I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check for you, Janet, but I know you get a couple of dwarf chameleon species in the fynbos in around Cape Town and Namaqualand. And I think there might be a desert one. I'm trying to remember now. But I don't think too many. I think definitely less than 10. As we discussed a couple of nights ago, the place with the most chameleon species in the world is, of course, Madagascar. It's got more than half of the chameleons in the world. And after Madagascar is Tanzania. Now, I saw a few very cool chameleon species in Gabon. And the weirdest one I saw was called a Cameroon dwarf horn chameleon. It's tiny. And he had these long spikes on his nose that were about as long as he was. Very, very cool little thing, a little brown guy. I mean, tiny, tiny little one. John, have you seen any of the dwarf chameleons in the fynbos? In the Cape, yeah. So there's a couple of species. I think there's 3 or 4 maybe, and then flap-necked being the most widespread and common. But it looks like the chameleons are continuing to elude. Hopefully we start seeing some snakes as well. That'll be nice. But it has been a wonderful sunset safari with lions and with leopards, elephants. You know, one thing I haven't seen in both drives today, was buffalo. Nkuhuma is keeping Djuma quite buffalo free at the moment, and keeping very fat in the process. But from the whole of the Safari Live team, myself and John, it's not a chameleon, it's a leaf. And it was worth a try, but we'll see you bright and early with the sunrise safari. Bon nuit.